So lads, I mean this when I say this. I want all the Stephanie White apologists to come out, because it's very, very clear that Stephanie White is not the right coach for Caitlin Clark. I don't mean this when I say this. I don't think Stephanie White's a bad coach. In fact, I think Stephanie White's a really good coach. The fact that she was able to pull off a Commissioner's Cup win with the roster that they had, she is a great coach. We are not going to slander Stephanie White's ability to coach right here, but we are going to question Stephanie White's ability to specifically.
What if the greatest shooter in women's basketball was told to stop shooting while she's on fire? That's exactly what Caitlin Clark just revealed. In a shocking admission, Clark hinted that her own coach is reining her in during her hottest stretches. Strategy or sabotage? Fans are livid. Analysts are stunned. And Clark's expression says more than words ever could. The reason behind it? Absolutely mind-blowing. This isn't just questionable coaching. It could be the tip of something much deeper.
Well, the cat is out the bag, man. Now, I told y'all, I was one of the first people to let it be known. Head coach Stephanie White is so against Caitlin Clark. It's clear as day, and it's very much clear as day that this front office dropped the ball in hiring her to be Caitlin Clark coach. I'm telling you right now, Stephanie White do not want Caitlin Clark to shoot the ball. It's clear as day. She want to run this motion offense, and quite frankly, Caitlin either need to get the hell out of Indy, or the front office need to make it their business to hire a new coach. Man.
This is the exact disaster everyone saw coming. The worst-case scenario where Caitlin Clark, the most electric scorer women's college basketball has ever seen, gets handed the keys to the franchise, only to be told, stay in the slow lane, or maybe just park it altogether. The Fever drafted a Ferrari, then locked it in the garage behind a busted minivan. This isn't what anyone signed up for. Fans didn't tune in to watch Caitlin Clark play it safe. They came for logo threes, jaw-dropping highlights, and fearless fireworks, not choreographed dribble handoffs and the occasional polite mid-range shot.
Let's take a listen to this. This is, by the way, during the New York Liberty game. This is during the New York Liberty game. During the Liberty game. Let's take a listen. About the Liberty game. This is the game where Caitlin Clark hit five threes in the first half. This is the game where Caitlin was on like an all-time heater, and then randomly, she just stopped shooting. Like, that is a thing. That is a thing that happened. She randomly just stopped shooting while she was on an all-time heater. She was on an all-time heater, and she just randomly stopped.
The irony? It's not even that Caitlin's playing poorly. She's doing everything she can inside a system that feels like it was held together with duct tape and wishful thinking. But when the offensive scheme resembles a Sudoku puzzle more than a basketball playbook, what exactly are we expecting? Somehow, this team took the NCAA's all-time leader in assists and scoring and reduced her to a side dish, while the so-called main course stands in the corner, waiting for a bailout pass and a do-over.
I had a film breakdown prepared today, but I'm actually going to go a different direction. This is a rant because we have to talk about the state of this Indiana Fever team, and I'm here to bring the reality to all you Fever fans. This team is not a championship team. They're not a championship team. They're nowhere near close to a championship team, because every team that is a championship team can play defense. This Indiana Fever team has no defense, and that's like the farthest of their problems. Their offense looked really bad today, and Caitlin Clark obviously didn't shoot the basketball well, but I'm not going to blame this loss on Caitlin Clark, even though obviously they would have won if she would have shot the ball well. My whole thing is, you were up when Caitlin Clark wasn't shooting the ball well. You had a double-digit lead in that first half while Caitlin Clark was clanking every single three.
The Fever didn't just draft Caitlin Clark. They drafted a phenomenon. They inherited sold-out arenas, millions of loyal fans, and a 24/7 media circus hanging on her every move. She's not just a player, she's a movement. And yet, the one person who seems hesitant to jump on this runaway hype train, her own coach. Now that's a plot twist no one had on their bingo card.
Caitlin Clark, man. Now, Caitlin Clark went on Sue Bird podcast and dropped major gems, bro. She let it be known that Stephanie White do not want her to shoot threes. Yes, this is not clickbait. Oh, my goodness, guys. Check this out.
So professionally, like that Liberty game, I feel like as a shooter, like when you see like 2 or 3 go in, especially like for me, like if I have 2 back to back in a row, like I'm probably gonna launch a third that maybe isn't advised by Steph, but like I gotta get it up. And then if the third goes in, like you're just hot. I think as a shooter, like your confidence just builds and builds and builds. It's just coming off your hand.
Shooters shoot. That's not just a basketball mantra. It's a law of life. And when the shooter is Caitlin freaking Clark, you don't tell her to ease up. You don't stick her in the corner like a glorified decoy or ask her to play traffic cop for a clunky offense. You let her cook, because even her bad shots have better odds than most players' layups. But nope, just when she starts heating up, here comes the whistle and clipboard like someone smelled smoke and panicked. And here's the real kicker. This isn't just bad for Clark. It's bad for everyone. Fans didn't tune in for a new to defense where every spark gets smothered before it ignites. They came for fire. For takeover mode. For logo threes and fearless stare downs. That's what packed arenas. That's what built the buzz. That's the fun. Instead, we're watching a team trying to win 54-52 like it's 2005. You want to be a defensive mastermind. Great. Love the grind. Respect. Dream of 20-second possessions and switching everything? Sure. But when your obsession with defense starts infecting your offensive identity, you've got a real problem. And right now, it feels like the Fever coaching staff isn't game planning for opponents. They're game planning against their own superstar. Like Clark is the threat, and they're trying to contain her.
Make a decision. Y'all want to keep making all this damn money off me, or do y'all can make money off her being a coach? Pick one. Pick one. What are we doing here? This was trash. We got popped. We got smoked by the Valkyries. Smoked. We down 20 at home. We down a dub at home. This front office is a joke. I don't know how they even let Timmy Fagbenle walk away. We didn't protect her. Bro, this front office is a joke. This coach is even more of a joke. A pure clown is what this coach is.
The logic is mind-numbing. You land the most dynamic offensive weapon women's basketball has seen in years. And instead of crafting an offense around her, you squeeze her into a system designed for who, exactly? No one can say, because this system doesn't shout modern basketball. It whispers caution. It echoes fear. It's not built to dominate, it's built to survive. Let's keep it close has somehow replaced let's blow them out and break the internet. And let's address the weirdest part. Every time Clark starts to heat up, drills a couple threes, takes control of the tempo, it's like clockwork. She's either yanked from the game or phased out of the offense. Plays suddenly reroute away from her. It's baffling. You don't hand someone the green light just to slam the brakes mid-possession. You don't try to system FY a generational scorer. You let her be her. Let her shoot. Let her take over. Let her electrify. That's why she's here. And the idea that she needs to develop under this system? Please. She came preloaded. She's not a project. She's plug and play from day one. Treating her like anything less is not just bad coaching. It's wasted potential.
Why not? Stephanie White. Why not? It always works. Two defenders are always going to go with Caitlin Clark. There should never be a play where Caitlin Clark brings the ball up the court and then she passes it and she runs off the playoff ball. Every single possession, there should be a screen, whether it be a Leah Boston, whether it be a Kelsey Mitchell who's going to cut, whether it be a Natasha Howard, literally any player. They set Caitlin Clark a screen at the top of the key, and off that, your whole offense should function. I don't care what Stephanie White wants to do with this motion offense thing. Literally, all you have to do every single time you have a practice is worry about what to do after the...
But they are treating her like a prototype. Like it's year zero of a 4-year rebuild and she has to slowly earn the right to shoot. Meanwhile, you've got players out there clanking open looks like they are auditioning for a home renovation show. But Caitlin? Nah, she has to defer. Has to wait her turn. Fever fans didn't pack arenas to watch potential. They came for production. And every game she's held back is another wasted opportunity. Another night where the crowd shows up expecting fireworks and gets a damp drizzle instead. It's not that Clark isn't capable. She's playing chess in a system built for checkers. And at some point, someone has to say it. Maybe this coach is a defensive mastermind. But right now, it feels like a whole lot of motion with no destination. Like watching someone use a rocket launcher to dig a hole. Sure, you can do it, but it's gonna be a mess, and you're definitely not using it right. And Caitlin Clark is that rocket launcher. You don't ask her to pass it around 7 times before forcing a contested mid-range. You point her at the rim and let it rip.
It's late last year in November when the Indiana Fever hired Stephanie White. I never thought I'd be saying this right now, only 19 games into the 2025 season, that it's time for Stephanie White to go. The Indiana Fever needs to fire Stephanie White. This is not going to work. What we're seeing is not going to work. It's just...
Fans see it. They are not fooled. Every viral clip isn't some beautifully choreographed half-court set. It's Caitlin Clark going rogue, pulling up from the parking lot, and doing something so outrageous it shouldn't work, but always does. That's the draw. That's the magic. People didn't show up for safe. They are not invested in slow, ego-protecting rotations that neuter your best chance at winning. They came for chaos, confidence, and Clark with the ball and zero hesitation. Instead, we're watching a generational talent shackled by a playbook that feels like it was laminated in 2003. And the excuses? They are piling up faster than overdue bills. What's next? Ask her to play center. Maybe put her on a shooting timeout so she can develop her inbound passing? By next week, she'll be handing out towels as part of her leadership journey. The absurdity writes itself. Meanwhile, the rest of the league is watching this slow implosion like hawks. They see the mess. They imagine what Clark could be with a coach who wants to score, who recognizes what they have, who builds around brilliance instead of bracing against it. Because at this point, it's no longer about play calls, it's about identity. You've got a coach hardwired to stop stars, and a player born to be one. You don't build walls and wonder why there's no sunlight. You don't cage brilliance and then question why it's not shining.